What's happening, guys? It's me, Drew, aka the Green Arrow, and this is Supergirl Season 2. So, let's get into it, guys. This is gonna be my review on Supergirl Season 2, Episode 2. So, let's get into it. Before we do, if you like it, give it a big thumbs up. It just gives me that little bit of knowledge that you guys are out there. And if you're new to the channel, obviously hit that smash button, hit that subscribe button to keep you informed. Okay, so I'm gonna get all the mundane things out of the way. What happened in Supergirl first? So we found out in this episode that basically Cat Grant is leaving, and with her leaving, Kara was introduced to her new boss. And basically, it was a lot like when Clark started, that this guy just really had no interest in her, didn't want to listen to her, didn't want to look at her, didn't want her in the office, wouldn't even give her a chair to sit on, wouldn't give her no news reporting stuff to go out there and be a reporter. He completely and utterly refused. So she basically was talking to Clark and said to Clark, listen, I need him to take me more seriously. What do I do? And he basically said, you know what, you've got to be yourself, and you've just got to prove to him that you can do it, that you're not just wasteful and wasteless and just an airhead, that you can actually bring him a proper story. So she does. She gets this really good story. It was a story about Metallo, and I'll get into Metallo in a minute. She basically produces the script for him, and she gives it to him, and he doesn't even really want to look at it. He's just thumbing through it, and he's like, no. And she was like, you know what, if you don't want it, I could take it to another outlet. They'd love to print it, and that's that, you get me? So she took it off the table and she went to walk out, and he was like, no, wait. And she was like, what? And he was like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow kind of thing. So we got introduced to her new boss. I'm not quite sure what his name is because they ain't really mentioned his name too much, but he's the new boss for Kara, because obviously Cat Grant is leaving. It's too much of a commute to where she actually lives in real life to film. So that's one of the reasons why she's actually going. The whole episode really revolved around Metallo. Like I said last week, Canvas Labs are a big part during this season. They're going to be bringing some really big bad people to you. And yeah, they done it this week with Metallo. So originally you would have thought there would only be one Metallo. Metallo was sent out to basically try and kill Superman and Supergirl. So the first time they're introduced to Metallo is when he's standing on a bridge, because they've just had a call out saying that there's a guy who's going to jump. He's standing on the bridge, and as he's standing on the bridge, he's basically waiting for Superman and Supergirl to come. And they turn up, and he turns around, and it was John Corbin or whatever the guy's name was. And he was like, he's no more, I'm Metallo. And he basically goes, pew! And this kryptonite, a beam comes shooting out of his chest. Every time he moved his chest backwards and forwards, this beam kept on coming out. And he basically hit Superman and took him down, hit Supergirl and took her down. But in the end, Superman ends up getting up and punching Metallo, and Metallo goes flying, basically into the sea. He's then recovered by Canvas Labs, and they take him back, and the doctor or the scientist or whatever guy who is working in the Canvas Labs on these projects is basically saying that he's not ready to go outside, and he's not ready to be introduced to them as a fighter yet, because he's not strong enough. We don't know what he's about. We don't know what's going to happen. We've not done enough tests. So from that, she wants to go to stage 2. So you're sitting there, they're all in the different places and whatnot, and then over the TV and over the computers and everything else, over your phones, there's this broadcast from Canvas Labs, and they're basically saying that we're sick and tired of sitting on our hands. Look at all of the alien people who are coming in, like Superman and Supergirl. We're powerless to stop them. What if one day they turn from being our helpers to our demise? So basically, they're trying to say that they're gonna kill all humans, so they can't be trusted. And this was one of the things that Martian Manhunter and Superman had a real big beef about, because after they found out that a whole heap of kryptonite was stolen in transit from the DEA, Superman then says to the Martian Manhunter, look, you promised me that no one would ever be able to get their hands on it. And they have, look what's happened. This guy nearly killed me and Kara. What are you going to do about it, kind of thing. So then it puts them all together and they're all thinking about what's going to happen. And Superman says, listen, this is why I said I can't play with you, because things like this happen. So Alex Danvers has a really good idea. Her and Gwen are talking. And basically, Kara says earlier on in the episode that she's thinking of moving to Metropolis with Clark. So that basically puts Alex on the back foot. She's very, pissed off about it. So she goes and talks to Gwen. And Gwen basically says to her, you're being selfish because, a family's supposed to be there no matter what. And it's not about point scoring, you get me? So then they have this conversation about how she should just be there. And he mentions something about there's a load of kryptonite, testosterone in the air and all this kind of stuff. And she then turns to him and says to him, can you detect kryptonite from, making a test? And he was like, of course I can, because he was working on these kryptonite suits for Superman and Supergirl, and he was like, but I can go one better than that, and I can put it into a Geiger counter. So Alex is like, okay, we need to find out who basically stole this kryptonite. So they went into the locker room and they end up going to this one guy, and his whole freaking locker was just infected by kryptonite. So Alex basically sets him up and says to him, she wants him to do a transport of kryptonite from the DEA to somewhere in the desert. And he was like, okay, not a problem. And he basically went out and stole the kryptonite again. This is when you get to see the woman from Canvas Labs again. We'll just call her Scary Lady at the moment, from Canvas Labs. And she basically says to Alex, listen, you can be part of our team and get rid of these aliens, or you can work against us and I'm going to get rid of you. And with that, Alex has basically said, you know what, yeah, I know you've got my dad. I'm coming for you no matter what you do, what you say to me, what happens, I'm coming for you, yeah? Period. I'm not working with you, got no interest in what you're saying, I'm going to kill you, right? So then obviously freaking her two henchmen, she was like, well, if you're not going to listen to me, then fair enough, boys. And then they try to take her out. Once again, an amazing fight scene with Alex. She's there. She's got this combat thing going on with these two goons and stuff. She ends up in fighting one of them, and it was a really amazing choreographed scene. Again, I love watching Alex fight. She's an amazing person to fight. So she's there fighting this guy. Once again, Kara turns up, knocks out one of the guys. Then Alex knocks out the other one, and then they kind of make up, and Kara says, I'm sorry. Alex says she's sorry. But then that gives Kara an idea. And basically what it was is Canvas Labs was looking to divide them, yeah? So have Superman in Metropolis and have Supergirl in National City. And whilst they're in their suspected places of where they are, so one's in National City and one's in Metropolis, then they can be defeated because they've got nobody else on their side. And that's when Kara come up with the idea, we've got more than one thing that we can use against us. So then Project 2 of what Canvas were working on was another Metallo. So basically what they did, they sent one Metallo to Metropolis and one Metallo was in National City. So what ends up happening, Superman's there on his own, Supergirl's there on his own. That's what they think. So Superman's in Metropolis and he's there and he's fighting the Metallo which came there. He's there, boom, boom, boom. And it's suddenly you find out that Martian Manhunter's there. So it's Martian Manhunter and Superman versus Metallo. And in National City, you had Supergirl and Alex Danvers was in her kryptonite suit that she wore when she took on Zod and Kara's aunt. And, she was wearing the same suit, so she had all them powers and stuff as well, so she could go up against him. So they end up in defeating both Metallos in Metropolis and in National City. Supergirl and Alex plunge, it's like a pole through one of the Metallo's hearts. He dies, and then the same thing with Martian Manhunter and Superman. Martian Manhunter put his hand through Metallo, and he took out the kryptonite. And he basically killed him as well. So they went back to the DEA, and the Martian Manhunter then turns around to Superman and says, you know what? The kryptonite's all encased in lead iron. Superman, do what you need to do with it. I'm sorry, kind of thing. I didn't want this to happen. So now Superman took the kryptonite from DEA and he's took it somewhere else. Not quite sure where he's took it. He might have took it somewhere around near the Fortress of Solitude, because obviously it's going to be pretty hard for anyone to get there.
But, you know, obviously we don't know where he took it, but we do know that he's took it somewhere and he's now back in Metropolis. We got to see him settle down. He fly down, changed quickly. First phone call was from Perry White. And basically, yeah, we know that he's back in Metropolis. But we do know it's not going to be the end because he did promise that he's going to find Jeremiah Danvers. So we know that Jeremiah Danvers was kidnapped by Canvas Labs. And if I'm right, which I think I might be right on this one, I think they might turn, sorry, they might turn Jeremiah Danvers into Cyborg Superman, okay? And if anyone who knows who Cyborg Superman is, they know that Canvas Labs created Cyborg Superman. And who else would you really want to play Superman than the original Superman himself as a cyborg? So I'm hoping that's the storyline they go down with Jeremiah Danvers and they turn him into Cyborg Superman, because guys, that it will be freaking awesome. Having Superman play Superman, that's going to be out of this world. But guys, that was it really. It was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Supergirl's really picking up, so I'm really pleased with that. We've got a lot more things coming. We've got a lot of surprises coming as well, guys. Don't worry about that. There's loads and loads and loads of surprises still to come from Supergirl. And we're only 2 episodes in, so like we've still got another 20 episodes to go. So I'm stoked for it. Really, I'm really stoked. So as always, guys, I've been your host Drew, aka the Green Arrow. Guys, if you want to know a little bit more, stick it in the comment section down below. We can have a little chit chat about it. Not a problem, guys. Like I said at the beginning, if you're new to this channel, hit the like button and subscribe to keep you informed of all things Supergirl. But as always, guys, I am your host Drew, aka the Green Arrow. Straight shooting, people.